What's up, weirdo? Shadetree Surgeon here, and it's time to play a little game. And that game is called Will the FXR Start? And that game is called Will the FXR Start? And that game is called Will the FXR Start? Success! I love all those memes and jokes about Harley riders revving their bike 6 times as soon as they start it up. For what? You know, to make sure everybody knows it's running. Whenever I see that, I just kind of go like, obviously you've never owned a vintage Harley Davidson because you have to do that. All right, headed over to the island. Of course, if you're from Tampa, you know the island is Davis Island. God, I can't stand people who live there. Flip lives there. I was kidding. Love Flip, but yeah, people who live on the island. I really like to make sure that you know that they live on the island. Although Davis Island is kind of cool in so much that it's not just rich dickheads that live there. There's actually a bunch of normal people that live there, because trust me, Flip is not a rich dickhead. Flip is a regular poor dickhead like the rest of us. I'm going over there to meet him for breakfast. He's gonna ride his live wire up to Birch Harley Davidson and trade it in for something new. I know some of you guys will be happy to see the live wire go because you hate electric bikes, but I've actually really enjoyed having that thing around. It's pretty freaking cool. As I've said before, I'll still take, as Blockhead says, 93 dead dinosaurs, but it was kind of cool to have an electric bike in the Rapstar fleet for a while. Downtown Tampa. You don't see me ride my motorcycle through downtown Tampa a whole lot because there's usually a lot of cops down here, and every motorcycle I own is in various states of illegality. I'm pretty sure Barf Party could get like 4 or 5 tickets merely for just existing. I'm pretty sure it has a legal tag on it, but seeing as it has very little else that's illegal on it, let's try and avoid the fuzz today. Ah, yes. Davis Island, a place where rich dickheads and regular dickheads can live together in perfect harmony. A dickhead-topia, if you will, where the have and the have-nots can live in smugness alike and living on the island while everybody else is squandering their lives away on the mainland. I'm just kidding. Davis Island has actually got a lot of history, and it's a pretty cool place. I don't blame people for being stoked on living here. The guy who made this place, Mr. Davis, was kind of a rebel in so much as he didn't really ask permission, and it wasn't illegal, so when he made Davis Island, he basically just dredged up a bunch of land and dumped it into the bay and said, this is my island now, so screw you. I kind of like that attitude, I'm not gonna lie. And after that, the city government was like, okay, no more islands, but he got away with this one. I spy with my little eye a very quiet motorcycle.
Smile on the wave. I said a smile on the wave.
All right, I got the steak, egg, and cheese croissant because it's a bagel place that's out of bagels. You get the little B, that's all kinds of pork, bad Jew.
You're not wrong.
Anyway, this is my first time eating at Farrell, so let me be the judge of this. Delicious.
So as I said, today's new bike day. Hopefully, this is the last time Flip has to shove his crap in my saddlebags. You know, everybody likes to make fun of you turning your bike into a touring bike until they want to get rid of their backpack.
I'm all for it. I just don't like this bike. The bike is a piece of crap.
Well, the bike doesn't even like itself, buddy.
The bags are perfect.
Every time I'm on Davis Island, I think of that old Wonder Shows song, White People Having Fun. I won't finish that one, but if you want to look it up, I'll let you. Tampa Bay Gasparilla Pirate Ship. Definitely ain't going to be no Gasparilla Parade this year. Wow, that's obnoxious. There's nothing like an Evo D-cell in a freaking tunnel, dude.
That's unnecessary.
This whole bike is unnecessary. So luckily this FXR makes enough noise for the both of us. Oh, I can almost hear it. Or maybe that's just the tires on the road, I'm not sure. Or maybe that's just my FXR spinning a bearing. Also not sure. Wagon south, baby. What if you did that on purpose because Flip's on an electric bike? That dude's like rolling coal on him, like not even an electric motorcycle. Oh, he's doing it to me now too. Come on, man. We're on the same team. My bike has a large carbon footprint too. Oh man, I guess just riding next to an electric bike's enough to get the call. Dude, he's gonna get me again. Pulling up here to Bert's Harley Davidson pretty soon. Get about 20-30 questions every single video. People asking me what I think about the ski-long Harley Davidson and the $1 million Bogan thing, and I've kind of avoided commenting on it for a few different reasons. One, believe it or not, is because I really like Daniel Hayes. I really like $1 Million Bogan. I love his videos, and that's made me not want to comment on it. And since I do really like the guy, I've avoided commenting on it because I think my comments could be construed as negative or not in support of him. Of course I support him. He's a fellow YouTuber. He rides motorcycles. Like, I enjoy his content. Of course I support the guy. I guess my thoughts on the whole situation is more along the lines of, you can't get upset about a corporation for doing anything, because corporations are like insects or lizards. They exist to propagate themselves, and getting mad at Harley Davidson making what you perceive to be moral decisions is like just getting mad at a snake for biting you. A corporation, including Harley Davidson, any corporation, by its very nature, it just prevents it from being moral at all. All corporations, when they make decisions based on market research and money, just exist in a moral gray zone. They are neither right nor wrong. They only exist to make the company bigger. So why would you get mad at a company? Like, when a company makes a moral, what you perceive to be a moral decision, I just wouldn't get mad at them. Just go like, well, I don't really care. I just don't care what they do. Harley Davidson could start selling pink glitter dildos tomorrow because they thought it'd make them more money, and I wouldn't care. Was that gonna stop the enjoyment that I get from my Harley, from this FXR? Is that gonna stop my relationship with all the good people at Bert's? Is that gonna stop me from enjoying their products? I don't freaking care what they do. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe I see it a different way. I don't buy into the whole, a lot of people want to say, oh, Harley's losing its way, they're not rebels anymore, they're not this. They never were. No corporation ever was. This is just a story that they sell to sell motorcycles. And that's not just Harley. That's any company ever. That's any motorcycle manufacturer, That's anybody, any car manufacturer. It's just this perception that they sell you to sell motorcycles. And so, if you ever bought it in the first place, I'm sorry, you're kind of a rube. Honestly, that's why, one day, maybe Harley Davidson won't like my relationship with Bert's, because Harley Davidson Corporate has nothing to do with it. I don't work for Bert's. We don't exchange any money. I just have a good relationship with those guys. And maybe one day Harley won't like it and they'll say they don't want him to do it anymore. And so what am I going to do? Get mad at Harley? They made a business decision? I won't really care. I'll think it's a bummer because I like doing business with Bert's, and I'll think it's a bad decision. But at the end of the day, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me. I just don't freaking care. It's not going to stop me from making videos. It's not going to stop me from enjoying the Harley Davidsons I own. Hell, it wouldn't even stop me from buying another Harley Davidson if I really wanted it. So let's say you bought a Harley Davidson because of the rebel image. Not buying one is still just being as much affected by marketing as buying one is. So to me, I just don't care. If I like something, I'm going to get it. I don't care what it says on the side. It just doesn't matter to me. If I personally enjoy it, I'm going to do it. And that's about where I stand on that. I wish $1 Million Bogan all the best. I think he's a great dude who makes great videos. And this wasn't meant as an attack on him in any way, shape, or form. Like I said, I speak private with the guy. I hope he comes back to YouTube soon and starts making awesome content. I'd love to meet up with him one day. Like I said, he's just a good dude. But that's so people can stop asking me. That's how I feel about it.
So Bert wants us to do a couple of burnouts on the showroom floor. I got Berkman, Ryber, Flip, and we're hoping that you'll do it.
You know what? I thought you'd never ask. The only real question here is, will the FXR actually do a burnout? That thing's pretty tired, dude. Oh, if you guys were wondering why I have a good relationship with Bert's Harley Davidson, it's because I just pull up. I didn't know they were going to ask that, by the way. I just pull up and they're like, hey, we're trying to break in our new showroom. Can you guys come do some burnouts in it? Bert's Harley and Bert himself, you guys are all right. Although I am actually unsure if the FXR will do a burnout. Without completely breaking. I'm here for a safety inspection. What's up, my man? That's the man who built Road King Kong over there. Breaking in the new showroom right. Dude, these floors might be too slick for my hard-ass front tire to freaking grip, dude.
Okay. It still moves. I turned around to see if I was smoking my clutch or the rear tire. So luckily when you're doing burnouts in the new Burt's Harley-Davidson showroom, there's a parts counter right next door. So since I just smoked the clutch on the FXR, I think it will make it home, but I'm leaving with a new clutch pack. I feel a little better that I wasn't the only person to smoke the clutch today. So you got a little bit more of an excuse. I think you're making just a few more horsepower.
Yeah, it instantly went.
than my bike is. I know we don't have smell-o-vision in here, but trust me, it smells. All right, y'all, I had to change gears and talk about this just a little bit more. I originally was just gonna make my little statement about corporate Harley-Davidson versus $1 Million Bogan and just leave it at that. But the more I started to think about it, the more I actually kind of got a little bit pissed off. I've watched probably over a dozen videos by various different people just bemoaning the state of corporate Harley-Davidson and how they're abandoning old school bikers. It's like, no, Harley-Davidson is too politically correct, so we're gonna cry about it on the internet. Like, why do you care? Why would you give one lonely fuck over what some nameless, faceless corporation does or says, or even worse, actually let it dictate how you live your life? I see people all over the place saying, I'll never buy another Harley-Davidson because of this, and maybe I'm the weird one here, but personally, I find that kind of pathetic. Like, you care so much what some overpaid dickhead in an Armani suit comes up with as a marketing plan that you would let it prevent you from buying a product that you actually like. Me, personally, I don't give a rat's ass what it says on the side of my motorcycle. If a left-handed lesbian midget Eskimo made a motorcycle called the Cock Gobbler 5000, and I personally thought that it was a good bike, I'd buy it because I don't care what it says on the side of my bike. I don't get it. Are you afraid that somebody's gonna see you on a Harley Davidson and just think that you're some kind of PC social justice warrior? Is that what you're worried about? If so, wow, man, just how amazingly rebellious of you to care that much what somebody else thinks about you. Every old school biker that I know, and I know quite a few, doesn't care at all what anybody thinks about them, and they don't spend 2 seconds of their day worrying about what corporate Harley-Davidson is doing. I'm sorry, man, but if you bought some bad boy rebel biker marketing campaign that was thought up in a corporate boardroom in the 1980s by Harley-Davidson, and that's the only reason that you bought a Harley, they got your ass hook, line, and sinker, buddy.
It's probably the most admired bike anyone can ride. The big, quiet 1200 V-twin is hot engine and dynamometer tested.
The courtship, the love affair between a man and a machine can be a beautiful thing. It may not happen often, but when it does, when that lightning strikes, it's almost as if the two become one. Each brings out the best in the other.
The center of burning desire, the new Harley-Davidson Wide Glide, the heart and soul of true custom iron. This low, this long, this lean, it's more than a machine.
Harley-Davidson is more than a machine.
Does that mean you got a bad bike? Well, a lot of people would actually say yes, that you got a bad bike. But I personally love Harleys from the 80s. I'm a huge Evo fan, so I think you got a good bike. So leaving the 1980s and Harley's very first bad boy rebel biker marketing campaign behind, let's go ahead and fast forward 40 years to 2020. Now, 4 decades later, if Harley-Davidson decides to change up its marketing campaign and how it sells its motorcycles, and you also let that affect your decision to buy a Harley, if you let that make you not buy a Harley, guess what, man? You're still the same sucker that you were in 1980. Harley-Davidson capitalized on the outlaw culture that formed around their bikes in the 60s and 70s, marketed in the 80s, and sold a whole lot of bikes in the 80s and 90s because of it. All it ever was on Harley's end was a marketing strategy. They're a corporation, guys. Their only goal is to move as many units as they possibly can at a maximum profit, just like every other corporation in the world. Do I really have to explain how how capitalism works to you guys? I will if you want me to. I'm a dyed-in-the-wool capitalist, and even though a lot of people hate me for it, I truly believe in free market capitalism. If the Harley-Davidson Corporation could generate a better profit margin by selling every single bike with a pink glitter unicorn paint job, why wouldn't they do it? They're a publicly traded corporation. Their sole purpose is to maximize profit and generate income for their shareholders. Period. Sorry to pull back the curtain on that one, guys, but that bad boy rebel image that Harley-Davidson fostered in the 80s, they only did it to sell bikes, man. Hard to believe, I know. And I hate to keep dropping bombshells on you like this, but the Easter Bunny isn't real either. I'll give you a second to process it. Hey, they are by far not the only corporation doing this. Every corporation does this, especially ones that sell motorcycles. Triumph jumped all over all those mustache-having, square boot-wearing hipsters and sold a whole lot of Bonnevilles to them. BMW jumped on those Starbucks-sipping adventurer wannabe midlife crisis guys and they sold them a whole bunch of GSs. And guess what, guys? Indian motorcycles, they're jumping all over all these disenfranchised rebels who are suffering from abandonment issues right now, and they'll probably sell a few bikes too. My advice to you is buy what you want because you actually like the product. Because if you think that any of these corporations care about anything else besides your dollar, if you really think they care about your race, your gender, your religion, or your political beliefs, if you think they care about that stuff, you are a fool. And I got a bridge to sell you in Arizona. So that begs the question, why do I own a Harley? Because you can work on them yourself and they're easy to fix, parts are cheap and easy to find, and you can rebuild almost every single thing on the motorcycle. And they also make a pretty cool sound. I also own a Yamaha, a Kawasaki, a Triumph, a Ducati, and a KTM. And of course, don't forget that old pig, the Raspberry Buffet, my 87 Honda Goldwing. I decide whether or not to buy a bike based on whether or not I like the motorcycle. What a crazy concept. I eat and breathe motorcycles. I just like bikes, man. I want everyone to ride because every ass on a motorcycle seat is one less of them and one more of us. If Harley Davidson thinks they can put more asses on motorcycle seats through whatever it is they happen to be doing, I'm not really paying attention to their marketing right now anyway, but if they think they can put more asses on motorcycles because of that, then I think that's a good thing. I'm sorry. More bikes and less cars will always get a thumbs up from me, man. I don't know what to tell you. If I'm still alive 40 years from now and Harley once again changes its marketing strategy and there's just an uproar from the left-handed lesbian midget Eskimo community. Cries of outrage. Damn you, Harley Davidson. Abandoning the left-handed lesbian Eskimo midget community to sell bikes to the right-handed transgendered amphibious Martian community. Ah, you've lost your way. Left-handed lesbian midget Eskimos made you who you are, Harley Davidson, and you're abandoning us. If I do live to see that happen, I'll have a nice long laugh. But hopefully I won't be alive to see it because every day trapped in this existential nightmare we call consciousness on a never-ending entropic death march towards the inevitable looming void of nothingness is pure fucking torture. Don't worry about me though. I got a handle on things. Because motorcycles make it better. Myself and $1 Million Bogan have that in common. We both ride for mental health reasons. Motorcycles are both an outlet for us, and that is one of the things that really resonates with me about his videos. I like $1 Million Bogan's videos, and honestly, I can't wait till he starts making them again, and I think he will. This video, even though a lot of people will perceive it to be, this video is not a criticism of him. This is just merely my own personal thoughts on branding and marketing. You can't take this stuff too seriously, guys. They're just trying to sell bikes, and if you take it personally, I don't know what to tell you, man. I personally do a lot of fun stuff with Burt's Harley Davidson, and it's not because they sell Harleys. As I've said before, what a bike says on the side of the tank doesn't really matter to me. I just don't care. I make videos with Berts because they're good people, because I like them, because there's a lot of people at that dealership that I consider to be real, actual friends of mine. One day, corporate Harley might decide that they don't like me and they want Berts to stop doing videos with me, and hey, it might be because of this video that they decide to do that. I don't know. Obviously, I think that'd be a bad decision on corporate Harley's part, because I know a lot of people who have gotten into Harley Davidsons because of me, and that's not because I tout the brand. That's not because I'm like, just look at what a badass you can be in a Harley Davidson, a real rebel. What I do is show what I like about Harley Davidsons, which is their longevity, their rebuildability. Is that a word? I'm not even sure. How easy it is to work on them, how easy it is to upgrade them. That's what I show, because that's what I like about Harleys. But if they decide they don't want me working with Berts anymore, I just gotta go, you know what? Actions have consequences, and it won't be the first time my big fat mouth has gotten me in trouble. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps. If you scroll down below this video, you'll find a comment section where you can tell me what a limp-wristed libtard socialist I am, because I'm not super angry about how a corporation chooses to market itself. Till next time, y'all, keep it weird.